Consider the internal shift that occurs when you finally place your own well-being at the absolute center of your universe. Have you recently paused before a mirror to examine whether the existence you lead is truly yours? Are you chasing a path carved by your own spirit, or merely walking the trail blazed by societal expectations and the heavy weight of outside pressure? Carl Jung, the legendary explorer of the human psyche, offered a radical perspective on this very dilemma that most people are too terrified to embrace. He taught that honoring your individual truth is vital, even when the entire world seems to be conspiring to pull you toward conformity. We exist in an era meticulously engineered to scatter our attention, trapping us in exhausting cycles of duty and endless lists of chores that feel mandatory. From your first conscious breath each morning, external forces demand your energy. Your career, your social circles, and rigid cultural standards all dictate the parameters of your behavior and define what your triumphs should look like. However, there is a fundamental reality we often choose to ignore. Every single time you place someone else's desires above your own necessity, you whisper a devastating secret to your soul that you do not matter. You signal that your core essence is expendable. This neglect silences that intuitive internal compass that tries to navigate you toward a life of genuine meaning. Jung argued that our link to the subconscious mind is not a luxury. It is the very fabric of our being. Still, many individuals suppress this connection, burying it under noise because the truth it reveals feels destabilizing. To ignore your inner voice is to starve your own existence. That nagging sensation of restlessness you feel, that quiet ache when things aren't right, is not an accident of biology. It is your deepest self attempting to communicate that a transformation is overdue, even if the prospect of that shift feels overwhelming. Reflect for a moment on your recent choices. Which ones emerged from a place of pure authenticity, and which were fueled by the cold hands of anxiety? Were you afraid of upsetting someone, or perhaps terrified of standing out from the crowd? Jung pleaded with us to analyze this deeply because he recognized a cosmic law. Actions not anchored in your personal truth lead only to internal fragmentation. The further you drift from your center, the more invisible you become to yourself. Let us be precise about one thing. Prioritizing yourself is not an act of cruelty toward others. This isn't about arrogance or neglecting your community. It is the realization that to offer anything of value to the world, you must first secure your internal foundation. This is the core of healthy self-regard. Loving yourself is a requirement, not a selfish whim. It is the bedrock upon which every honest relationship is constructed. When you decide to elevate your own needs, your entire vibration changes. You begin to draw in circumstances and individuals that resonate with your highest self. It is as if the cosmos acknowledges your bravery, pruning away the dead branches of your life to make room for new growth. But to reach this peak, you must walk through the valley of your own shadows. Jung defined the shadow as the cellar of the mind, holding every trait we find difficult to admit. While looking into that darkness is jarring, it is the only place where real alchemy happens. When you integrate those hidden parts rather than running from them, you tap into a reservoir of strength you never knew existed. This evolution is a marathon, not a sprint. It demands grit, immense patience, and a relentless drive to understand your own mechanics. The reward, however, is priceless: absolute clarity. You gain the power to see through the smoke and mirrors of modern life. You find a mission that makes sense in a quietness of spirit that no storm can disturb. You learn the sacred art of saying no without a hint of remorse. Most importantly, you earn the right to exist as you are. You might ask, where does this path begin? The solution is more accessible than you realize. It starts with active listening. The next time you feel a spike of discomfort or a sudden wave of emotion, stop. Ask your inner self what message it is trying to deliver. As Jung suggested, the wisdom you seek in the outside world is already sitting quietly in your heart. You simply need the boldness to hear it and the resolve to follow its lead. One of the most difficult hurdles is trusting your gut when it points toward a path that disrupts your current comfort. Perhaps it is a partnership that has run dry, or a career that pays the bills but kills the spirit. Jung reminds us that clinging to these things isn't bravery, it's a rejection of your soul's purpose. Choosing yourself means having the fortitude to drop what no longer fits, regardless of how much you've invested in it. Change is a gateway, not a funeral. Your peace is worth more than the comfort of a lie. What are you holding on to out of sheer habit? What beliefs are you protecting simply because you're scared of the void? You might fear that letting go is a tragedy, but the true tragedy is maintaining a facade while your heart withers. The decision rests with you. Are you finally prepared to stand up for yourself? This isn't vanity, it is an act of extreme reverence for your own life. Society has lied to us, suggesting that self-neglect is a virtue. But when you finally put yourself first, the mist begins to evaporate. You start to see clearly. The people who actually care about you will stay, while those who only benefited from your depletion will naturally drift away. This isn't luck. It's the result of your internal frequency shifting. Jung called this synchronicity the beautiful alignment between your inner state and the external events that follow. When you live your truth, the world reshapes itself to accommodate that honesty. However, this journey demands a level of radical transparency that few can stomach. You must look at your past mistakes without judgment, but with a keen eye for where you abandoned yourself to please others. Use these realizations as data for your future, not as a whip for your back. Old versions of yourself will try to pull you back into the safety of the herd. But remember, nothing grows in the center of the comfort zone. The most beautiful versions of you exist in the territory of the unknown. People might judge you or distance themselves because you no longer serve their agenda. This pain is the price of admission to a life of freedom. Once you stop begging for a seat at tables where you aren't valued, you find your own power. This doesn't mean becoming a hermit. It means seeking depth over surface. It means craving souls that nourish you rather than just people who occupy space. The right tribe will always find you when you are standing in your own light. This isn't some mystical trick, it's the interplay of energy. Jung noted that we project our internal chaos onto our surroundings. If you are at war with yourself, your life will feel like a battlefield. But if you embrace your identity, your reality will reflect that peace. This process takes time. There will be moments of doubt where you feel like you're failing, but those are the tests that prove your commitment. The world celebrates the martyr, but at the cost of the individual. We are told to give until we are empty, but you cannot offer water from a dried up well. Only when you are full can you serve others with genuine love. Dare to pick yourself today in every small choice and every major crossroads. Jung proved that we cannot give what we do not have. If you sacrifice your joy to keep others happy, the result is a hollow gift that eventually turns into resentment. Look at your current environment. Who energizes you? Who leaves you feeling like a ghost? Your relationships are mirrors. If you allow boundaries to be trampled, it's a sign that you haven't yet learned to value your own borders. Setting a limit isn't a wall, it's a gate that keeps your garden safe. When you say no to the wrong things, you are finally saying yes to your destiny. As you move into this space, your intuition will become a roar. You will start making moves that feel right in your marrow. This is the ultimate power of self-selection. It restores your connection to the internal compass that has been waiting for your trust. Jung saw intuition as the purest link to the divine unconscious. To hear it, you must turn down the volume of the world. Stop looking for permission. No one knows your path better than the person walking it. When you align with your truth, the universe begins to work with you. You find the right opportunities and the right people without the frantic hustle. This doesn't mean life gets easy, but the struggle takes on a purpose. You start experiencing those perfect accidents that show you're on the right track. These are the rewards for honoring your soul. When you respect your inner world, the outer world has no choice but to follow suit. Everything starts to flow, but be warned, the biggest hurdles often appear right after you make the choice to change. It's as if life is testing your new boundaries to see if they're real. The old world will try to pull you back. Fear will tell you to play it safe. But every time you stay the course, you grow stronger. Every time you pick your peace over their drama, you are winning. Jung taught that friction isn't a mistake, it's a sign of movement. It is the heat of your old self burning away to make room for the new. Clarity comes from action. Ask yourself what you truly value. When your values are clear, your decisions become effortless. You aren't alone in this. By standing in your truth, you become a lighthouse for others who are lost in the dark. Your bravery gives them the permission they've been waiting for. Imagine the lightness of dropping every obligation that doesn't serve your spirit. Think of the energy you would regain. This isn't a fantasy. It is a choice available to you right now. You aren't losing anything. You are clearing the clutter for your actual life to begin. This is the treasure Jung wanted us to find, the realization that the source of everything we want is already inside us. It's time to stop performing and start being. The clock is ticking on the life you were meant to lead. Stop waiting for a sign. This is the sign. Confront the shadows. Embrace the silence. Listen to the wind of your own thoughts. When you choose yourself, you aren't just helping your own life. You are shifting the world. Your presence becomes a catalyst. Now, take a second to breathe this in. Which parts of your daily routine feel like a lie? What can you remove today to feel more like yourself? Every tiny victory counts. At Winds of Thought, we believe in your capacity to evolve. If this spoke to you, hit the like button and join our community. Share this with one person who is currently struggling to find their voice. Your interaction helps this message reach the hearts that need it most. We are building a space for those who dare to be real. Tell us in the comments, what is one boundary you are setting this week? Your words might be the exact spark someone else needs to hear. Subscribe and hit the bell so we can keep walking this path together. Your journey home to yourself has officially begun. Thank you for trusting us with your time. I will see you in the upcoming video. Remember, your true life begins the second you decide you are worth the effort.